right, we at the dashboard now. We here, we lit. Yeah, copy this guy here. We're gonna pop off it. Why did they do this to me, bro? Stop signing me out of Discord. So annoying. You losers. Here, and QR code. Yes, log me in. Jameson Audio, what's good, bro? What's good, Manny? Feast. Feast is excited for the Rams. Drizzle's in the building. Gary Wade's in the building. Thank you for your order today, Gary Wade. I see you out there patronizing these CMP Kit streets. We appreciate you. Black Beats, what's up? All right. We are back. We are indeed back. One of your homies got jumped last night. That's awful. Hope he's okay. Hopefully he doesn't have to have his spleen removed, because that's a thing. Black Beats, can we not do that in the live chat, please? Pupil, you see what bro's saying? Nah, he's good. He's an idiot. He's just always starting shit. Yeah, I feel you. Anthony Roses says, fuck the Lambs. Oh, y'all think I'm going to talk about football? I'm not going to talk about football. I did not come here to talk about football. No, sir. No, sir. This is not a football stream. Man, we gonna get all types of copyright strikes for what I'm about to do here today. So let's do this. Let's just play some music. Let's just play some music from the best album of all time.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end mine. If you ain't down for the Africans here in the United States, period, point blank, if you ain't down for the ones that suffered in South Africa from apartheid and shit, damn it, you need to step your punk ass to the side and let us brothers and us Africans step in and start putting some foot in that ass. Break them off, son. 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 I got my finger on the trigger, so niggas wonder why we're living in the city. It's do or die. I got my finger on the trigger, so niggas wonder why we're living in the city. It's do or die.
Them when they wear me belly, them don't really understand. So the reason why they take me long and me on hand, me not out for peace and me not Rodney King. Me gun goes click, me gun goes bang. Them riot in Compton and them riot in Long Beach. Them riot in the Lakers, them don't really wanna see. Niggas start to loot and police start to shoot like a stand at 7 o'clock. Barricaders like Beirut. Me don't show no love cause it's us against them. Them never ever love me cause it's forced to rebel and kill at my own risk. If I may delay to spray with my AK and put them to rest.
Yeah, we have the right of writing
told us today, in other words, you still a slave. No matter how much money you got, you still ain't shit.
Sitting in my living room, calm and collective, feeling that gotta get my perspective. Cause what I just heard broke me in half, and half the niggas I know, plus the niggas on the road is belling. Laugh now, but cry much later. You see, when niggas get together, they get mad cause they can't fade us. Like my niggas from South Central Los Angeles, they found that they couldn't handle us. Bloods, Crips on the same squad. With the essays up, a nigga, it's time to rob and mob and break the white man on something lovely. I don't love them, so them can't love me. Yo, straight putting it down, getting my scoot on. It's jumping off in Compton, so I got to get my loot on and come up on me some furniture or something. Got a VCR in the back of my car that I ganked from the sloths and swap me. And motherfuckers better not try to stop me, cause they will see that I can't be stopped. Cause I'ma cock my Glock and pop till they all drop.
Yes, in the videotape we see some of the people in the crowd throwing things at the officers.
And swinging at them as well. There was a young woman there who took a swing at an officer with some object in her hand.
How many niggas are ready to lose?
Yeah, so what you wanna do? What you wanna do?
I said, how many niggas are ready to lose?
Got myself a Uzi and my brother a nine.
I got my finger on the trigger, so niggas wonder why. For living in the city, it's do or die. I got my finger on the trigger, so niggas wonder why. For living in the city, it's do or die.
One time trigger happy, no nigga love. 187 time to grab the glove. Can't get prints on a nine, I throw away. Or get prints on my Uzi when it's play. Pop, 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 another motherfucker drop. And I get relief like clop, clop, fizz, smash. I crashed his head like a window. I ain't Nintendo, I'm high off the endo. Creeping with the quickness to the cut. Bust one to his head while he munches on a donut. And crack up, so now we best to back up. I guess I got
Ah, shit. God damn it. That is not what I meant to do. Oh, man. Okay. Is everybody here? Money Mike's is here. Good. 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 Money Mike's likes when I do stuff like this. So I'm glad Money Mike's can make it to the stream. I wish Shane was here. Shane's gonna be upset. She said to let her know when I was gonna be on. Hopefully she's not on a call. She can come and participate. So let's get into it, shall we? I watched the Super Bowl last night with my wife. Normally I don't watch the whole game, but we ain't had nothing to do. And she likes to watch the commercials live. So whatever. We got into a little bit of NFL football, right? And my Super Bowl party was lame. It's just me and my old girl. I did not pre-plan and get food, so I wound up going to the grocery store hungry and made some terrible choices. None of it was good. None of it was good. I wish I would have thought about what I was doing before I did it. But alas, dude, the night was saved when we got to the halftime show, man. So when they announced that Dr. Dre was going to be doing a halftime show, with the whole squad, I was super excited, because if there's one thing that should be acknowledged, bro, listen, with like respect and reverence, all respect and reverence to the East Coast, respect and reverence to people who write their own raps, respect and reverence to people who make their own beats, right? So just respect and reverence to all of them. Yo, Dr. Dre is the best hip hop artist of all time. Argue with your fucking grandpa, okay? Argue with your grandpa, right? Argue with your grandpa. I'm not saying the best MC. I'm not saying the best drum programmer, right? I'm talking about the shit that they like to do with Drake, right? Right? He's the best hip hop artist of all time. He has the best hip hop album of all time. Right? So when they said that it was going to be Dr. Dre, because this is the first like hip hop halftime show. Like, yeah, we had Katy Perry and Missy. Like, yeah, Big Boy got to come out and do a song while Maroon 5 was in Atlanta. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but whatever. We got Travis. We got to do a little bit of Rage, but this was like this one. You're talking about a hip hop pioneer. You know what I'm saying? Been there from the beginning, right? A DJ, a producer, a rapper. The first time I ever seen Dr. Dre live was at the pinnacle of his career, which was the Up in Smoke tour, right? That was the zenith. Like he was in like full, fully formed master, comfortable in his skin, you know what I mean? And he got to write his own ticket and do what he wanted to do with that show. And it was an amazing show. I've been to Kanye concerts, and Kanye is amazing, bro. Kanye, I went to like when I went to go see Yeezus, the dude had a mountain in the arena, and he sat on a throne that was like, it was literally ballerinas contorting themselves to make a throne, and he sat on that shit wearing Margiela masks. It was amazing. but bro, the Up in Smoke tour. The Up in Smoke tour was nuts. The Up in Smoke tour, these guys, if like go on YouTube and watch like the DVD of the Up in Smoke tour, these guys, they started the show like it was like a fully immersive experience. They started the show with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. They're getting some beer at the corner store. You know what I mean? And then people come in the corner store and like Snoop Dogg pulls out this comically long 44 Magnum, and Dr. Dre's got 2 Desert Eagles, and they're having a shootout in the liquor store. And then on the stage, like you guys might know this from like Dipset and the Source Awards, because those guys stole it from Dr. Dre and them. But they had like, it was like the block, so it was the corner store, and and the swap beat or whatever, and then they do the gunshot pow, which was a sound effect, which was the intro to the Chronic, you know what I mean, and it all went along seamlessly. They make the gunshot, then they come out of the liquor store, smoke comes up, and they're doing classics from songs that were like over 10 years old, right? And they snap into it, boom. And they're going nuts. Dr. Dre is chugging Hennessy on stage. The thing that I noticed the most about it, right? Because I seen people, and I hate Twitter, because people just want to like talk to say stuff, and they don't really know shit, right? I seen people, and it wasn't just like one person. It was like there was people that were saying like, oh, the performances wasn't that good. I don't know what the fuck you guys were watching though. The first thing that I noticed about the Up in Smoke tour, right? The first thing that I noticed is when you go to a rap show, the raps never sound like they sound on the record, right? And the reason why the raps never sound like they sound on the record is because hip hop for live sound is notoriously poorly mixed. Because nobody gives a fuck, right? You get out there and you do your part, and you're like, and we can't hear what the fuck you're saying. And the sound guy doesn't care, right? Up in Smoke was the first time that I heard rappers do their songs where they weren't overly screaming into their mics, and they sounded the way that they sounded on the records. And it's like a super rare thing. Even if you watch like these big festivals and stuff, like the whole over screaming into your mic, that's not good performance. And a lot of people fuck that up. They think that that's just like the energy of hip hop, and that's part of the hip hop experience. But no, bro, that's bad sound. That's bad live sound. It's poor monitoring, and it's what rappers do to compensate so that they can hear themselves on the drums and catch the rhythm. Right? So Money Mike says criticism for the drums. Dude, the drums, I don't know, bro. Like I had that shit playing on my hi-fi system in my living room. I got nice speakers. I got nice speakers in here. I got nice speakers in there. You know what I'm saying? That shit sounded amazing to me. And when I listen to rap, I want to hear the raps. And when I heard Dr. Dre, he was not screaming, right? When I heard Snoop, because Snoop is not like a hype voice. You have to get that right. Snoop was not screaming. Them guys didn't forget their words, right? They did the censored versions flawlessly. There was no mix up. Even poor 50 Cent, who was upside down, doing his stuff, and he's not in the best shape of his life, was still able to do his parts. That shit was fire. Anderson .Paak on the drums, special instruments plugged in, no lip syncing, right? Our artists who are considered bigger, legacy acts, more relevant, whatever, fucking go out there, lip sync. It sucks. You know what I mean? I was so from my reference of Dr. Dre, right? The vocal mix was fantastic, Mike. Exactly. From my reference of Dr. Dre, knowing that he was going to be the first person to do like a show that was hip hop centric, right? Knowing, where they started off doing their music, right? The place where they started off doing their music, for this to be, hip hop at damn near 42 years old, to finally, because I mean, like, you could think what you want about the NFL. I don't watch the NFL. I haven't watched. I'm from Miami, dude. They have the Dolphins. I'm not gonna waste my time with the NFL. Not with a trash organization like that. They can't get my money and my time. Since 2004, I've been out. You know what I'm saying? Don't care about football. Okay, so, but the Super Bowl is the biggest thing in the culture in America. It's the biggest thing in the culture in America. And what happened last night, not only was it amazing, right? Not only was there none of that fucking goofery where, Jordan Maxwell can make a video about how, the performers are demonic bloodsuckers because they danced on checkerboards and shit like that. There was none of that fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Masons were not in town last night, right? Right? It was literally the day that hip hop took over. OBN Chiba says, I have to say it was the best sounding halftime show. The Prince halftime show sounded pretty amazing as well. You know what I mean? Prince halftime show was amazing. I've got this one in the Prince halftime show tied as my favorites. But we need to understand, right? Go back and understand what we just saw, because I don't think that people really understand what they just saw and why it was important, and why Dr. Dre spent $7 million of his own bread to make sure that shit was tight, bro. Like, I'm talking about, dude, they had lowriders on the field. They had the map of the city. Snoop Dogg was throwing up Crip. There's a lot to unpack. They had people in Dickies stylized Crip walking at the Super Bowl. At the Super Bowl. They brought the whole culture out. Every aspect of it. They brought it out. Right? We went from a time, and this is what was amazing to me, right? Because, all of us probably feel the same way. We probably could have lived without Lose Yourself, right? All of us. I mean, Dr. Dre didn't even make that beat. Like, we could all lived without Lose Yourself, whatever. But But what I'm getting ready to show you now is we're going to take a little trip down memory lane as far as hip hop is concerned, and the media's portrayal of hip hop and how it's been accepted or how it has not been accepted in American culture. We're going to go back like a Tarantino. I just want you to understand what you saw. You saw a 49-year-old white man sagging his pants and rapping his ass off at the Super Bowl. A 49-year-old white man, right? So, let's talk about hip hop. Okay? Let's talk about it. Here we are. Right? This is a 2020 report in 1981. Okay? In 1981, hip hop got on the radio. When it got on the radio, it got national attention. The culture. Okay? Cool Whip. So it got on the radio, got national attention, which means that we got to do a 2020 special on it, right? Dude, when I first started listening to rap, my dad was like, yo, that shit's a fad. It's just talking on a beat. It's just a fad. It's just talking on a beat. You know what I'm saying? My old man listened to Journey and shit, you know? So let me show you. In 1981, this was not that long ago, bro. This was the year before I was born, right? When you watch this, I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to the look on the anchor's face, and we'll talk about it.
E to the York. Ho, this is the jock in the back. On the scene with the record machines.
The new sound of the 80s. Suddenly you hear it everywhere. Rap music. It's all beat and all talk. It tells you a story.
It's all beat and it's all talk. Keep that in mind.
And makes you want to dance. Steve Fox examines an overnight phenomenon.
Remember that just understand, if somebody says that you're all talk, is that a compliment? Like if somebody says that you're all talk, is that a compliment?
Rapping to the beat.
Well, there have been talking blues and things like concertos for drums, but right now,
bro, I fucking can't with this guy, bro. Do you see his face? Do you see his face? Look at his face. Look at him trying to contain his laughter.
All around us, and so compelling you never miss the fact there's no melody, is a music that is all beat, strong beat, and talk. It's rap music, and it sounds like this.
It's about a time not all of it.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. You seen him? You seen him?
Go, everybody had on their radio. And then the fella came on with a group in noise to put the wiggle in the women and girls and boys. The word got around about...
That's the Sugar Hill Gang, whose records have sold...
He just can't. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. He can't take it seriously. He can't take it seriously. And what he's conveying to his audience is that they should not take it seriously either. Right? That's what this guy's telling you. So this is 1981. This is the respect. This is the this is the respect and reverence that, I mean, that's 2020. This is the respect and reverence that 2020, that's what their job was. Their job was to go out, find relevant cultural stories and bring them back. When they brought this story back, they fucking laughed at everybody because they know who they're talking to, right? They know who they're talking to. They know the streets weren't watching 2020, okay? They know exactly who they're talking to. They were talking to Middle America. And Middle America at this time, they were so insulated from this form of, you know, because like now you could call like hip hop and shit, you could call it the culture because it is the culture, right? And if you came into it and you don't understand this part of the history, it's a privilege. You know what I mean? Because you don't have you just don't, you won't have this chip on your shoulder, right? Okay, so this dude can't even contain himself as he speaks to Middle America, and he's and like, I don't know, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, he's just like look at what these idiots are doing over here. They're talking to the beat. They don't even got a melody, right? Okay, so that's how this shit starts. That's the beginning. That's the beginning of this story. Is that, you know, guys, because if you're here with me, there's probably a chance that you love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if when I tell you that I love hip hop, I don't really have to explain it to you. That shit probably comes off, you know, pretty easily. You know what I mean? Like, I pretty much wear my shit on my sleeve. Like, when I say that I love it, like, it's not just like I love listening to the music. Since I wrote like my first rap, I've spent, you know, since I was 15 years old in 1998, and this is not an exaggeration, it's not hyperbole. I never took a break. Every single day of my life, every single day, obsessively, I have worked on my craft at getting better at hip hop, whether it was writing raps or whether it was producing the music. I've worked on it every single day, getting better, because I love it and I respect it that much. It's my fucking favorite thing to do. Okay, listen, if you guys watch like my old podcast and shit, I set my business on fire. I built an awesome YouTube channel, tutorials and samples. I set that on fire because some fucking little fucking German fucking prick who didn't understand what this shit meant said some shit that pissed my friend off. And we had to fucking smash him because we love this shit. You understand? So, when we go back and we look at how the media has portrayed this shit, when we get into the 90s, right? Let's look at let's look at Peter Jennings, right? You look at the 80s was cool. Everybody was dancing, you know. Everybody was dancing, having a good time, entertaining people. The 90s come around and you start to get into this you start to get into a more the more focused era of hip hop, right? They start talking about what's going on in the streets, and not like what's going on politically, what's going on with the police, right? And these are stories that Middle America had been insulated from, right? So up into this point in American society, white people had looked at black people and just been like, yo, these motherfuckers are lazy. Why can't they get out of those neighborhoods, right? And then all of a sudden, there's this music that comes out, and they're making these awesome songs, and they're explaining to you why they're not getting out of the neighborhoods. Okay? So you've got this ignorant, you know, baby boomer population, and they're having kids. Their kids love this music. The rap is easy to understand, okay? And they're explaining this story, and it's a dichotomy because it's going against what their parents are telling them, right? So their parents are saying like, yo, you know, stay away from them people, you know, they're thugs, they're this and that. And then all of a sudden, these stories are coming out with the other side of the story. And not only is the music fire, the story's making sense. So now the kids sitting at the table, and they're, you know, and they're challenging their parents. They're like, yo, that's actually not what's going on. And the parents are like, where the fuck are you hearing this? Right? Where's all this coming from? Where's all this jive that you're talking about, Eric? You know? You sound like you want to be one of them. And then they go in their room and they find, I don't know, like a copy of the Sir Mix-a-Lot CD, and it's got fucking a song called Seattle Ain't Bullshitting on it, and they're like, yo, hold on, wait, hold on, listen. You know, calls their father upstairs, look at what our son's listening to. Then they put the shit on, and they're like, oh my God, what is that? What is going on? So then they start talking at their churches, right? And then the people at the churches, because this is how politics work, churches goes up to local politics, and then before you know it, they're talking about this shit at the Senate. And there is a problem now, right? Because now you see a parental advisory CD or sticker on something, and it's like a meme, you know? It's just it's like a meme. It's just something cute. But when that sticker came out, we had a problem, because what was trying to happen was there were active legal and religious leaders trying to cancel this shit. Like, you think canceling a comedian because he hurt your feelings? I'll watch this shit.
Choosing to play even sanitized versions of it. This week, the music industry was encouraged to stop releasing the music, and a U.S. senator threatened to hold public hearings on the subject. Our report tonight from NBC's Larry Carroll.
It is the music of America's meanest streets. It is a background score to a life born of sudden violence, poverty, and hopelessness. It depicts life that is all too real in places like SC, South Central, Los Angeles. In a studio built inside a rundown Hollywood tenement, a group called the South Central Cartel is working on a single from what it hopes will be its breakthrough album.
You notice how they said that? A studio built in a rundown tenement? Like, you know that's not their studio, right? but because they're associated with it, you gotta add that little caveat that it's a rundown tenement. Like, bitch, do you know where studios are located? They're all in industrial parks. Nobody puts that shit, you know, in a gated community. I just want to make sure I just want to see if you guys are awake.
In Gats We Trust. Gats, slang for guns. Album. In Gats We Trust. Gats. Central Cartel is working on a single from what it hopes will be its breakthrough album. In Gats We Trust. Gats, slang for guns.
I'm sorry, but In Gats We Trust is an amazing name for an album.
I wouldn't even rap about something if I didn't know about it, you know, firsthand. You know, I done went through it, my friend went through it. You know, we sit down and we talk about stuff. You know, we write about what we feel and what we done been through.
This is gangster rap. It is raw, in-your-face music that reflects violence, drug use, disrespect for women, and promiscuity in the most graphic of terms.
Shoot 'em out there like guess the wipe the crack of with a whack MC. The flavor of the month is.
Yo, this lady spit in the battle rap, and they were like here's a picture of a black woman. Let's see if she's advertising promiscuity. Like, that's how goofy this shit is. And this wasn't isolated. Let's look at another one. This was my favorite.
Different worlds collided violently on a dark Texas highway. A cop from the country was shot dead by a teenager from the inner city. The teenager is trying now to avoid the death penalty, claiming the sounds of his world drove him to violence. Bob McNamara has the story in tonight's Eye on America.
Bro, listen to this pussy-ass shit you're about to hear.
Something's gonna have to happen. An eye for an eye. Tooth for tooth. In an Austin courthouse.
He should get the death sentence.
He is a dangerous human being. A life and death debate.
These people don't understand what those kids see growing up.
What should be done with Ronald Ray Howard?
What he did was execute my husband.
What penalty do you think he should get?
The death penalty.
Why?
Why not? He took a life for no reason.
There was a reason Ronald Howard killed Trooper Bill Davidson.
Now I got a murder case.
According to Howard's attorney, it was violent rap music.
Bro, what the fuck? Do you know how crazy this was? Do you know how fucking nuts this was? Because the whole time, right? The whole time, there's these discussions like with like Chuck D's doing the discussion, Ice Cube's doing the discussion, Ice-T is doing the discussion. They're explaining their perspective on gangster rap, and this fucking goof that fucking shoots a cop, right? He fucking shot a cop in order to get off. And we don't know him. We don't know what happened to him. But him and his lawyer somehow come to the idea that, like, you know what? In order to avoid the death penalty, since you can't claim insanity, let's just claim that gangster rap made you do it. Get the fuck out of here. Here's another one of my favorites. This shit is legendary.
This is a multi-millionaire, and he's going to jail. You know why?
Listen, bro, listen to bitch-ass Donahue, bro.
This is a multi-millionaire, and he's going to jail. You know why? He's Luther Campbell, and he heads 2 Live Crew, and they're upset in Florida.
You see Luke's face? Luke is tight right now because Donahue, I'm telling you, that's the look of somebody. That's the look of somebody trying to get their shit together because he wants to cuss Donahue out because he baited and switched him. He told him that he was going to get up there and be able to tell his side of the story, and this fucking goofball is presenting him in a way that's going to skew the audience's perception. So he came to him and he was like, hey, we're going to give you the platform to tell your story in front of America, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets on and starts talking about him like he's a schmuck. This is a millionaire and he's going to jail.
Cops not only busted the rock group, they busted a record seller for selling their albums. Show them the tape, Brian.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I just want to make sure you didn't miss that.
It's 2 Live Crew, and they're upset in Florida. The cops not only busted the rock group, they busted a record seller for selling their albums.
Bro, the Broward County Sheriff, Manny Navarro, in the early 90s, was going around to mom and pop businesses. These were local businesses, guys. This is the equivalent of LLC Twitter. You know what I'm saying? These are people who took what they invested. They got a little storefront, you know what I'm saying, on US 1. They got a little storefront out on Griffin Road, 167th Street, okay? And they're selling records. Okay? Luke was the biggest selling shit in South Florida. That's what everybody wanted. And these were good, hardworking people. These were regular blue-collar people. A lot of them Bahamian immigrants, a lot of them Haitian immigrants, and a whole bunch of them Jamaican immigrants, right? So these are hardworking Black Caribbean people selling what the people want, and these fucking dickheads took it upon themselves to arrest them because of party music, right? Party music. Luke didn't even talk about no crazy shit. All he talked about was people shaking their ass and having a fun time. If you've ever been to a party, like if Eddie will tell you, like in that era, if you went to one of these parties, like it was not a fucking violent affair. It was not some shit where everybody was waiting outside to fight. It wasn't no shit where it's like, yo, we're gonna stand up on the wall, wearing our jewelry, getting drunk as fuck, and when we don't get no pussy, we're gonna fight. Like, no, it was literally everybody having fun. It was everybody having fucking fun. Was the soundtrack obscene? Yes, sir. And they were literally trying to pull some book burning shit. They took him off the stage and they arrested him for performing. And then they took the fucking immigrant people who came here to do the right thing. They went and shut their store down and arrested them for selling the music.
Show them the tape, Brian. Incidentally, this is a rock promoter's dream. These guys have been on everything. I mean, maybe even to Nightline, Dayline, yesterday afternoon, tomorrow morning, Geraldo, and here they are. Here's the moment of their careers on the...
Here's the moment of their careers. This fucking arrogant fuck.
The Donahue Show for the second time. 2 live crew. Am I kidding you? Look at this. Time magazine. Who cares about the SNL crisis when you...
Bro, the cover of Time magazine, bro. I want you to understand. Like, let this shit sink in. This was like 1991, okay? Only 30 years ago, 1991. And the cover of Time magazine, when everybody is going to the groceries, right? You go into your groceries, you put your shit up, you turn, you look, and all you see is this new music that's coming out, that it's awful, that it's terrible, that we need to be scared of it. We need to abolish it.
Can have a cover like this. All America is upset. Did you ever see what's going on at a concert today? And is it just me, or are you worried about Madonna? And what's dirty to you? Show them, Brian. Here's just a piece of 2 live crew. Is this music obscene? A growing number of officials in Florida and other states are saying yes. 2 members of the rap group 2 Live Crew were arrested this week on obscenity charges following their live concert. A few days earlier, a judge ruled their album Nasty As They Want to Be obscene. And now record dealers who sell it could face arrest. One has already been arrested. What's all the fuss about? Well, Nasty As They Want to Be contains a lot of references to oral sex and male and female genitalia. I know that because it says it right here. Where do you draw the line? And what about the First Amendment? This is the first time that a record has been the center of an obscenity charge with an arrest ordered by a federal judge. As we make our way through this program, you should know that there are other people here, including Alan Jacoby, who's the entertainment lawyer. You work for Luther. I'll tell you, boy, you got your hands full. You're selling Luther. You're selling records like it's good, huh? This publicity.
Well, in a sense it is. You know, I mean...
Let's go to the next one. This is a great one. This is a mixtape.
About women and minorities.
Explicit sexual or violent lyrics.
Racism and inciting violence.
The get-rich-or-die trying attitude that you see in hip-hop.
Teenage pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, teen suicide, casual drug use. My mother used to take washing powder and wash out our mouths.
This offends me as a black woman, still calling us hoes, bitches, and sluts. It's calling us niggers. And now it's also defaming our faith.
Consider a song like Slap a Hoe, which you mentioned, by the group Dove Shack, which touts the virtues of a machine that automatically smacks a wife or girlfriend into line.
Let me just take a look at chart 1 here. This is Hits from the Bomb by the group Cypress Hill. Pick it, pack it, fire it up. Come along, take a hit from the bomb.
You know who Orrin Hatch is? You ever looked him up? Just one time, just like YouTube, Orrin Hatch says racist shit. Orrin Hatch was a pro-segregation congressman in the 60s. Just saying.
Rap is the dominant favorite among African-American males. Is a big favorite among young, white, suburban males.
There's a rapper. He's cool. Got his mic, and he's spinning the disc or CD or whatever it is there.
I don't care if we're talking about
He's spinning a disc or a CD or whatever it is there.
8 Mile River in Connecticut for Mr. Courtney, or 8 Miles of Road in Detroit for Eminem.
Eminem got the best rap song.
Eminem.
A rap artist, Eminem.
If I can quote LL Cool J, the rapper, don't call...
Ain't nothing but a gangster party.
I paint a perfect picture, bombing suckers with precision.
Grandchildren now don't write a thank you for the Christmas presents. They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man, the Snoopy Snoopy Poop Dog.
You know, you've just got to kind of let it.
If you feeling like a pimp, nigga.
Okay. And here's my personal favorite. here's another good one. MTV, bro. MTV, who was making money off of this shit the whole time. Who was making money shit. Bro, the pressure got so bad that MTV had to produce this. It was a special report, right? Labeled "Enough is Enough," meaning like, yo, y'all need to tighten up. I mean, we're gonna take your money, but you know, you stop that gangster rapping.
Itself is failing. I want that song up to stay. I want it to stay.
The gangster rap and misogynist lyrics that glorify violence and denigrate women is nothing more than pornographic smut.
And now the attack is.
Now I want you to pay attention to this, right? Because it wasn't just, you know, especially in the climate that we're in nowadays, like you've seen the way that Roger reacted. Everything is like, it's real quick to call someone racist, like racist, right? But this wasn't just white people saying like, man, you know, like, I don't want my kids to get tuned into this, right? It was also guys like Reverend Calvin Butts, C. Dolores Tucker. They were worried about it from the perspective of like, okay, so they were looking at it like, listen, we're either people who were active participants in the civil rights movement, or our parents were active participants in the civil rights movement. And we did all of this work, you know, to make this amount of progress from 1968 up until 1992. That was not that long. You got to remember that shit was like, what was that, like 28 years? Less than that, right? Less than that. It is less than a generation, you know? So they're looking at it like, yo, y'all got us out here looking goofy as fuck. What is this? You're calling us hoes? You're calling your aunt hoes? You know what I mean? They were not about this shit.
It's on rap.
Negative rap is not all right. Negative rap is not all right.
There is no such thing as gangster rap. Rap is rap, period.
People trying to like put a stamp on, you know, the type of music that we do and try to put a hold on it.
I'd say it's reality. If gangster is reality, I guess that's it. Gangster, it's cool.
Gangster rap is opportunity for people in the ghetto who have nothing to do with themselves, such as ex-gang members, ex-drug dealers.
All we doing is being reporters like Connie Chung and reporting what's going on. If I was a real gangster, I wouldn't be telling you what's going on, I'd just be doing it.
I'm having a bad day, so stay out of my way. And with the pistol back and people say you better obey.
With all the controversy surrounding so-called gangster rap and its alleged negative effect on America's youth, we asked 6 very different young music fans from around the country what they thought about the music and its message.
Gangster rap is rap that depicts a lifestyle of crime and drugs and sex.
I've never heard anybody use the term gangster rap except on the news.
Basically, I think gangster rap is just hardcore beats with, you know, just dope lyrics over it, you know, just stressing a point of what people go through.
But I think there are those rappers who don't draw the line between education and provoking violence.
There's no such thing as gangster rap. Gangster rap is something somebody gave a name to. There's no definition for it.
If someone was rapping gangster rap, it'd be kind of nice if they had some previous knowledge about it.
Never let me slip, cause if I slip, then I'm slipping. But if I got my Nina, then you know I'm straight tripping.
Is gangster rap determined by your dress, the songs you make, the album you make, the record company you're on, the town that you come from? These are all incredible variables that make it very hard for us to define what it is.
Is Frank Sinatra a gangster singer? You know what I'm saying? Is Steven Seagal a gangster actor?
I think what we have to do is define and understand what these messages are that are coming out of the music. If the messages are excessively violent and negative to society, then we need to talk about them and talk about them honestly. How did we get those messages?
Really, it's a cry out because it's like genocide going on there. You're losing a whole generation of people that could help contribute not only to this country, to this world, and they're crying out about it through that music.
There's such a difference now in terms of the attitude of rap music from the message to today. The message still implied hope.
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. And that's just like 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the music has a message behind it. It's telling you, get it right. We ain't standing for this no more.
Well, you know, 10 years, 12 years really later, with the absence of anybody paying attention to Melly Mel when he was saying, don't push me, we have kids who are saying, I don't care. You know, I'll buck you down. I'll do whatever I have to.
Bro, so, so not only is this happening like in popular music, right? At the same exact time, right? The most popular shit in football, right, is the University of Miami, right? The University of Miami football team. The University of Miami football team, they were a dominant football team, right? The thing about the University of Miami is, at the time, Florida had the best college football prospects, right? They were coming out of like super rural places in Florida, like Belglade, Pahokee, everywhere up around Lake Okeechobee, and then down south in Homestead, right? Super talented athletes. And so what wound up happening is the University of Miami got smart, and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna recruit all the local kids and have them come play with us, and we're gonna be a powerhouse. So when they did that, you had like the whole Florida swag, right, come together, right? So imagine a football team of nothing but Kodak Blacks, right? But they're amazing at football. Okay, so when they got to playing football, they were so good that they started doing, I'm talking about the most overblown, exaggerated celebrations that you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to show you a clip of a documentary that like at its crescendo, but you should watch the 30 for 30. It's amazing. You can see what they did. The year after they won their first national title, the NCAA had to change the rules for celebrating on the field because they were doing ridiculous shit. Like they would sack a quarterback, stand over him, and then finger gun him. You know what I mean? Like ridiculous shit. They would get a pick six and run into the opposing team's tunnel. I'm talking about they would stand over you and like bro, it was nuts. It was wild, disrespectful, right? But this shit all came to a head. Right? This is when it got crazy. It was crazy because they were good. They were dominant. They won championships. And not only did they win championships, there's like this thing in college football where if you're winning, you'll kind of like you'll kind of ease off the brakes. They would run the score up off on people, right? So this all came to a head when they played this rivalry game. It's dubbed Convicts versus Catholics. It was the U versus Notre Dame, bro. Just take a look at this shit.
You put them up on
You
television.
pull up on the buses and everyone's wearing their T-shirts. Convicts versus Catholics.
I kind of got a kick out of it. We got it. I mean, we had earned that reputation with some of our past finishes before our pregame. And usually if a team does, they run around on the sideline and they go up the tunnel, and it's all good. Our stadium, it's one tunnel, one way in, one way out.
You had to go completely around the entire group in order to get to the dressing room to get to the tunnel. Do we go around or do we go through? Go through.
They didn't respect us. That they just ran through us and bumped us and like, get out of our way. This is our field.
Notre Dame wasn't going to allow that to happen.
Well, I was in the press box, and you heard the crowd react first. Everybody in the stands said, hell yeah.
It wasn't a shoving match. It was a rumble.
It was a bar fight. If we had stools, we'd be hitting each other with them.
Punches are being thrown, helmets being ripped off. We tried to break it up, couldn't break it up. I looked at Palermo and said, this thing may never end.
Ugly few moments down there.
This goes on for minutes, and it seems like forever.
That was about as intense as the locker room can get.
The emotions were running very high. Guys are upset. There's a lot of screaming and yelling. Lou's in a tough situation. A few minutes pass, and Lou comes out.
If anybody shows anything but great sportsmanship during this game, you'll not play the rest of the year. None of that. You won't play the rest of your career here.
He didn't scold us for the shoving match. He said represent our school. It wasn't what we thought. Coach then just turns on a dime.
And I said, no, after the game, they want to fight in the parking lot. Hell yeah, if they do, fine.
And he says, but I will tell you, you got an afternoon to play and a lifetime to remember. But you do me one favor. You saved Jimmy Johnson's ass for me. Game over. Game over.
Nah, he's fired up. So we have to be fired up.
There was no doubt that he was going to win that game.
This ain't it. This ain't it. Where is it when they wore the fatigues to the dinner, bro? I gotta show you guys this. This is amazing. Hold on, because this is this is where it all. This is where it all. Oh no, this wasn't this. Nah, this is. I think it was the Penn State dinner. Oh my god, I need this. Look at this fucking guy, bro. So, you guys get it though, right? Hip hop came a long way because all of this was to remind everybody, who watches this, is before you even begin to form an opinion about what you saw on Sunday, before you even, want to post a meme because 50 Cent gained weight, or because, you think this could have been better or that could have been better. I want you to think about what Sunday meant to people who are my age, who lived through this time. All the people who loved hip hop, and maybe they grew up in a church house, in a Jesus is Coming Soon house, and their mom seen the parental advisory CDs and broke their CDs, you know what I'm saying? Or like white kids who who like the culture, and their racist dad told them to stop talking black, shit like that. You know what I mean? People who genuinely love this shit, who for a decade, this was not, for more than a decade, this was not okay. Like, let me explain. Like, are you guys familiar with the song Waterfalls by TLC? Right? Y'all familiar with the song Waterfalls by TLC? It's kind of a big song, right? Waterfalls was the biggest song the year that it came out. I think it was 1995. 1995 or 1996. It was huge. It was everywhere. At the end of Waterfalls, there's a rap verse by one of the members of the group, right? So Left Eye raps at the end of the song. This song was so big because at this time in the 90s, you had black stations and you had white stations, right? There were no black singers on the country stations. That shit did not happen, right? It was very clear cut. There was no black people on the rock stations. It was very clear cut. And there was no black people on the pop stations, unless it was Michael Jackson. Okay? So what you would have is you would have songs that were called crossover songs. What crossover meant, it was coded language. Crossover meant there was a song that was on rhythmic radio, whether that was the rap station or whether it was the R&B station, and it crossed over to the pop station. Okay? Waterfalls crossed over to the pop station. And when Waterfalls crossed over to the pop station, do you guys, is there anybody in the chat that knows what Waterfalls sounded like when it was on the pop station? Can you guys guess? Because it's a little different. Can you guys, does anybody remember this? Chiba, Eddie, do you remember this? Don't wait for you guys. Because I don't want you to just take my word for it to come from my memory. There was something different about Waterfalls when it played. Gary Wade and OBN Chiba said it at the same time. They removed the rap verse on Waterfalls. They removed the rap verse. They didn't even shorten the song. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even shorten the song. They made an alternate version and they just muted Left Eye. Dude, her rap started with, I seen a rainbow yesterday. You know, she had like this crazy, like, you know, metaphorical poem that was basically summing up the tragedy that was happening in the singing parts. Okay? And the singing parts were nasty. The singing parts was Buddy fucking got AIDS. Okay? All right? The singing part was Lil Bro got shot. Right? And then the rap was the uplifting part of the song lyrically. When you go back and you listen to that song. Okay? But when it came to white radio, Clear Channel or whoever made that decision, they were just like, listen, we're going to play the song. But this part where you're talking over the beat, we don't do that over here. We're muting that shit. You know, everything ain't a fucking joke, guys. Everything isn't an opportunity to point and laugh. I hate to be that guy. But fuck. You know what I mean? Like look at the history of the culture. You know what I mean? Look at the history of the culture. And everything it's been through. To have the opportunity, right? To have the opportunity to spend $7 million of a man's own money to represent itself on the biggest stage, the most fucking watched event in American TV of the year. You know what I mean? Like, you see that shit and you feel anything other than pride and reverence. And I got to admit, it's a little weird to me. You know, maybe you weren't outside at the same time that I was outside. Maybe you just weren't there. Maybe you don't have the connection. And if you don't, then that's fine, you know, because I can't explain that to you. But if you were, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like really, what's it about? You know what I mean? Like what's it about? Cause Dr. Dre could have been left us. You know what I mean? Dr. Dre could have been left us. He don't need to be there. Snoop Dogg could have left us. Did not need to be there. Kendrick, low key, looked like he didn't even really want to be there. You know? And look what's happening this morning. What the fuck are people talking about? Eminem kneeling. And you didn't even know Eminem knelt. I didn't even realize that was going on. I just, when they played the motif to I Ain't Mad at You, I thought that he was showing respect for Pac. I didn't even put like the Kaepernick thing together. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. But for me, personally, I just wanted to share this perspective with you guys that, you know, follow and pull up to the streams, because I know you guys love this shit. And, you know, my wife loves that loves it too, but you know, she doesn't participate. So she doesn't have the same, like, she's passionate, but it's not the same passion. And I mean, like, when I was watching it, I was just moved. You know what I mean? Like, I was just moved. Like, it was like I don't know, like the shit felt like church. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like it just felt like I just got overcame with all of these memories of just, like, you know, people talking shit about rap, people talking shit about me doing rap, and it was, you know, people, you know, just like all that shit that you hear, bro. You know what I mean? And more than anything, like, Dre's a producer, you know? And I have these discussions with you guys about, like, you know, fucking get the get the best gear, right? You know, go all out. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this rap shit doesn't have to be something that is just like scraping to get by. It doesn't have to be like, bro, my youngin just put me on to Yeet, right? And he's explaining to me, he's like, nah, you got to look at it from the perspective because their culture is that, you know, they're not trying at all to say anything, but they're still fucking making slaps. So there's this fucking guy that's the captain of Gen Z, and his whole swag is not trying at all, and he's making rap music, and he gets the opportunity to do this shit because of people who had less and dreamed so fucking big that they took a pause tape and turned it into an SP1200 and turned an SP1200 into 16 pads and turned fucking 2 seconds of sample time, sped up the record so that they could have more sample time, and fucking flip and arrange the shit, you know, into a sound that was so potent and so motivating that it captured the entire imagination of an entire generation. And all of that shit, there was one guy, they were like, Dr. Dre, would you please do us the honor of trying to explain that shit in 15 minutes with your friends? Bro, and they did it. they did that shit, man. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. I haven't even talked about how they were specifically told that Eminem shouldn't kneel and that Dr. Dre couldn't say "Still Not Loving Police." Yeah, and they did it anyway because that's hip hop. Because civil disobedience is part of the culture. Yep, he gets it. Snoop Dogg does cooking shows and adverts for kids, and he was out there G'd up with a death row chain reminding you where he came from. You know, but what I want people to what I hope that people could take away from that, and why I'm kind of like, come on guys with the fucking memes, like, I would just hope that when people saw that, they would get inspired to understand, because we live in this fucking bullshit laptop crack software fucking, I can do it just as good as Mike Dean with my fucking, you know, analog lab. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you fucking can't. And it's not because you can't afford the tools. That's not the point. It's, bro, have some fucking nuts. Have some imagination. Have some goals. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't just stop at the little box that you're in. Because if you grind it out, if you love it enough, and you are truly meant to do it, and you do it every single day, and you bust your ass at it, and you remember that manifestation isn't just like some shortcut to wealth, but you can actually imagine something and create it. Like, that's what you're doing as a creative. You're imagining it and creating it. So if you imagine this world where one day you're performing at the Super Bowl on top of the fucking map of your city, you can do that, bro. Don't just stop at a fucking VST. That's why we got all this shit. You understand? Because it's literally our dream. This is what we worked for. This is why we showed up every day. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever marginalize that. Have some imagination. Let's talk about this Attack on Titan episode. Fuck Gabby and fuck Reiner and fuck Falco. Yeah, nah. Yo, Aaron has the right idea, bro. He's got it figured out, dude. But you know, I'm worried about his friends because they're soft. You know what I mean? They're sitting there questioning the shit. You know? They're super soft. Money Mike says it's okay to be desperate and audacious and audacious to start off struggling. That's where we come from. Yes. But don't stay there. At the end of the day, it's about overcoming the damn odds. Yes, bro. It's about overcoming the damn odds and stunting on everyone. You know what I mean? That's the point. That's the point. You start here, right? You start like that. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Like, bro, everybody starts, you know, for the most part, people who do hip hop, right? Everybody starts at the bottom. The floor is lower for some people than it is others, right? But we don't need to, you know, get into who has less toys and candy, right? But we get it. We're all at the bottom. Everybody starts with, you know, a computer of some sort, right? Nowadays. And I get what it's like not to have stuff. I haven't always had stuff. Trust me. Okay? But the reason why I have stuff now is because it's fucking what I wanted. And I went and got it. And now I'm stunting on you motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? So, don't stop it. Well, this is all I have. This is all I'm ever going to have. No, bro. No, you can have whatever you want. Just get to it. Just get to it, man. You can have whatever you want. I promise you. But yeah, bro. Reiner's a bitch. I can't, but yo, AB, I can't talk to you guys that read the book, bro, because then I'm gonna say something and then you're gonna be like, nah, you're wrong, and I'm gonna get a spoiler. Money Mike says, you ever seen a picture of rappers and their friends in the studio? In the middle of all these people, there's a white dude in a checkered shirt, standing out like a short thumb, sitting at the console. That's why it's important that I'm an engineer. Exactly. Exactly. Mike gets it, bro. LBN Chiba says, I'm gonna write a book titled We Was Dirtbags. Yo, we was, bro. Rudy Rhythms. Yo, Rudy Rhythms. Rudy Rhythms. I hate you. I hate you, bro. Let's make some tunes, man. Let's make some tunes. Yo, what was up with bro? What was up with bro in here fucking calling me racist? Like, why do people do that? How come, bro, how come when you get to talking about like what happened in the past, people want to call you racist, bro? Like, it's history, bro. Like, this shit happened. Look, if you guys don't know, if you head over to youngcmpkits.com, right? That loop that I was playing you, that comes from the Ho Chords pack. you can make samples like that. All I did was use a preset from the ripcord. Right? This is all it is. Well, you haven't figured out percussion and samples yet? Listen. Listen, my guy. Oh, but what I was saying, it's 30% off. 30% off through Black History Month, right? 30% off, automatic discount. Just go buy something. So, you haven't figured out percussions. All you got to do is go to... What the hell is this guy's shit? Here you go. So you want to go to only one, okay? Then you want to go to percussion loops, right? And you just want to buy them. You just want to buy them all. You just want to buy them all. This is the current one that I'm on now. But this dude, like, I don't know if he knows how like perfect his shit is for samples, but this is like he has the perfect ones. Like that's all I use. Arcade been having me go crazy. Yeah, that's all this sample is, dude. Like, hold on. Yo, that's why AB said that shit, because he hears it. But all this is, bro, Mike, this is your chord pack, right? One, just a preset from Sonic Extensions, bro. This is Omnisphere. This is Easy Bass. 3 notes, 3 notes out of damn Analog Lab, right? Yo, you know what I noticed about people who don't use Arcade is they be scared to use Hooked because they see so many people use it. Seriously, you're a fucking fool if you don't use Hooked. Like, that shit is listen to this without Hooked. Jonathan is asking, why do you need Easy Bass? Just a time saver? Okay, so I want you to understand something about me. I don't need nothing. I do not operate from a place of need. When I sit here and I do this, I operate from a place of I want to have fun. Right? And Easy Bass is a lot of fun. So when you want to ask me, or when you look at what I'm doing, right, and you see me doing something, it's never because I need to do it. It's always because I'm having the most fun with that. Hope that makes sense. Mike, you want me to send you this sample? Because I want to make something else. Jonathan said, "Damn dog, you look me in the eyes for that one." It's I'm not trying to be funny or anything, bro. You know, it's just that I think that um I just think that when it comes to I just think that when it comes to like your language, when it comes to music and like the stuff that you have, you just gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful how you frame things. You know, you don't need none of this shit. You're the most important aspect. You're the most important part of the puzzle first. What is this? 128. How do you? Where the hell's Mike's at? Where the fuck is this guy at? What's up, Eclipse? You buy Arcade annually? I mean, Arcade is the shit. Black Speeds, did people get you straightened out? We really adding perk loops and samples in 2022. I mean, bro, been doing that shit since 2017, dog. definitely want to get on. You definitely want to get on with that. Hooked and Distant Voices are your favorite joints for Arcade? Yeah, man. Yeah, I think all right, what are we doing? Making a beat. Damn, I was like, yo, I was listening to this. I was like, damn, who made this sample? This sample's kind of raw. That's my sample. I love it when that happens. I was like, yo, let me find out about this guy. I might have to buy one of his packs, break into those stems. He was really good. Nah, it's just me, dog. It's just me. That's his mind. Bro, you know what I miss? So much give and take with the damn computer. I miss zero latency. That's what I miss. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome to have a push, but like, damn. Let me play. You know? Nice on. Mike, let me show you. Like, I keep that bros what's it called? Perk loops that I showed you. I keep them. I keep them in the drum rack. This is just one volume. This is volume 6, right? So I'll keep them in the drum rack, and like listen to what this does for my drum track. Like, this is just one bar looped, random, right? This is gonna be awesome. Little reverbs. This one's cool, but it's a little crazy. Alright, but I don't want to find it. Is anybody out there listening to me? Is anybody out there listening to me? I fixed it. All right, so let's see here. It was definitely a Masonic weapon against the culture. Oh my God, bro, I was gonna lose my mind. Let's see if anybody did one. Let's see if anybody did one. Let's see if these dorks did one.
So just in case you thought that they decided to skip all of the Illuminati, satanic, occult garbage for this year's Super Bowl.
Oh my God, he's gonna piss me off. This guy's gonna piss me off. Hey! Hey! What's up? Thank you, girl. All right. Let's see what we got.
Halftime show? Nah, they just decided to save the occult symbolism for last.
I hate it here. I hate it so much. Hate it so much. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Oh my God, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
So just in case you thought that they decided to skip.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. 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 Well, I mean, the reason why he threw it up so awkward is because obviously he's uncomfortable. He's made an uncomfortable decision to sell his soul, and you know, it's not everybody's is bought fully in. So fully bought in. Yo, these dudes were so mad, bro. When they finally seen it, when they finally seen something, they're like, "Yes, there it is. I knew it. We got some devil horns. I could work with this." I'm surprised. Yo, I seen somebody, they were trying to say that that the palm trees that was actually bloodstains, bro. That those were actually, I was like, bro, you gotta relax. What's up, Justin? God damn it. Yo, I did that little reel about like, don't you say, yo, why is it if you like, if you tell somebody don't do something, they're like, I'm gonna show you can do it. I clipped one of my streams where I posted a short where I was like, yo, if you don't got no push, don't work in this view. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have a hard time. And then people were like, yo, all you got to do is click and drag that shit to the arrange window. And the reason why I, said what I said about, like, if you don't have a push, or, like, whatever the, like, Novation struggle pushes are, don't fuck with this window, because the whole point of it is triggering it. Like, that's the vibe, is for me, that's the vibe, right? But yeah, no, you absolutely can, click and drag this, right? And then press tab and then find where it's supposed to go. Like, this is supposed to go to loop on this track, and say, okay, you could definitely totally drag clips from one window to another, and then say, okay, I want to drag this scene, and then hold it, and then say, okay, this goes here. But this right here, it's just, if you're gonna do this, I feel if you're gonna do this, like, why? And you see what happens in clip view. I'm sorry. Dude, this is not fun. There's nothing fun about this. But you see how my some of my clips are like little 4-bar clips, right? So then you got to come here and drag them all out to make sure that it's the same. Like yeah, recording it in might, the act of it may take you longer. But I mean, like, if you're making a beat that you don't want to listen to, like, the fuck you doing anyway? You know what I'm saying? That, bro, that's not the vibe, bro. I would rather just come back here, right? Start on the one, click record, and vibe it out. Yeah, that's how I used to do 2 tracks with the MPC. Just make a bunch of patterns, press play, record it live, and do a couple solos and dropouts. Yeah, man. Yeah, the same, bro. Same. Like, I'm not... You know, for me, like, a linear workflow... I like a linear workflow when I'm making samples, right? When I'm making samples, like writing, that makes sense to me, right? But for arranging, I don't know. Like it's yeah, I know that I got to turn my kick down. For arranging, I just think it's much more fun to trigger patterns. I love triggering patterns when you're arranging. When do you think the new push is coming out? Or is this one here to stay? I don't know, Justin. I'm not I'm good at like I'm good at like music trends, but only because like I'm old enough to know what the pattern is. And I'm old enough to know that they don't change the patterns. You know? But I don't know. I don't understand the... So let's think about it. The first push, the push 1, right? That was created by... the push 1 was created in collaboration with Akai, right? Akai and Live had some type of... or Akai and Ableton had some type of falling out, which led to Ableton manufacturing their own hardware, right? So beyond grabbing for cash, I don't see why you would make a push 3. But maybe they're working on it. I don't know. I don't. It's so I just don't know what you would add to it. You know what I mean? They didn't really add anything to this one except the color screen. And the push is just it's something that you could keep on, you know, digging deeper into with firmware and tweaking it like that. But I just don't see what else you could do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe a keyboard version of it for the weirdos? I don't know. Man. I've been interested ever since I started producing and getting one, but then I started using Studio One. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I could get out of Studio One and just use Ableton Live, to be honest with you. Now that the sound isn't doesn't have anything to do with the DAW, since everything just sounds like the SSL Fusion. So, and I like the workflow in here more. I just don't know. I just don't know if I can make samples in here, you know, the way that I like to. I just don't like. You be hearing me fucked up. I don't know if I could have fun. I don't know if I could have as much fun making samples in here as I do in Studio One, because it's just always got to be fun. You know what I'm saying? I did a test with the same sounds in FL Studio, Ableton and Studio One, and it all turned out the same. I tried Logic and it was awful. So the thing about what's super disingenuous about the all the DAWs sound the same crowd. How do I say it? Because I want to say this and I want to I want to clip it, but I don't want to be a dick. The people who tell you that all the DAWs sound the same, what they're really saying is all the DAWs sound the same. Okay, so all right, boom. Okay, so the idea that DAWs don't sound the same, it originated from back in like the early to mid 2000s when Pro Tools used to have two settings for bouncing a track. There was two settings for bouncing a track in Pro Tools, and both of those audio engines sounded different, right? So because you had the choice between two different audio engines in Pro Tools, there became a conversation that all the different audio engines inside the different DAWs had different characteristics, right? And what happened was on Gearslutz, it was a big, this was pretty much the only place where you could have these conversations. There was a big discussion about it or whatever, and the nerds got together, and what they started to do is they started to apply science, and they would null test stuff. And basically the consensus was, look, if you take the same audio signal, bounce it through different DAWs, they will null, which means that DAWs don't have a sound, right? So that's correct with zero nuance, right? Now, in comes less technically savvy music creators, right? And they have hacked versions of different DAWs. And when they use different DAWs, they notice that there's different sounds within the different DAWs, right? So they begin to form, their own opinions and consensus on what DAWs sound like what. What happened was the people who were back from the Gearslutz era, who were there for the conversation about summing engine or digital summing engines, they conflated what these people who were less like tech science savvy were saying, right? For example, there's a video that that was done by Decap, right? Where he goes and he's like, okay, I took these two wave samples and I put them on the arrange window, right? And then I bounced these two wave samples on the arrange window, right? And I bounced them in FL Studio and I bounced them in Ableton Live, and they both nulled. Hence, they sound the same. Don't care what your ears are telling you. This is science. And he was very, like about it, right? Okay. Then he dropped a video about the sampler inside of Ableton Live, where he had to go to a setting to change it so that when he pitched his hi-hats, it sounded the same as other DAWs. And that video was an example of there's two crowds saying different things, and one crowd thinking because they used a fucking null test behind their opinion, talking down to the other crowd. You know what I'm saying? So basically there's people saying, when I make beats in Ableton Live, something sounds different. I don't know what it is. It just sounds different. And then there was people talking back at him saying, well, if you put put a kick sample in each one of the arrange windows and null it. That so there could, but no, you're using your fucking eyes, guy. You weren't using your ears. Because once you started using your ears, you heard your hi-hats and you were like, man, this don't sound like the other DAWs. And that's what the people who were less technically savvy were trying to tell you. It's like, bro, I know what I'm hearing. When I make a beat over here, something sounds different. I can't explain it. I just know it. So does that mean so like that? And that's just where all that shit comes from. Money Mike says nobody who actually makes elite music thinks all the DAWs sound the same. Yeah, no, dude, nobody, bro. The only people who think the DAWs sound the same are the people who are running from those same gear sluts threads, right? And they're just like, it sounds like the most, like a null test sounds like the most scientific thing, you know. But if you listen. And here's the reason why DAWs sound different, right? And here's the disconnect, because people say that it's the summing engine or it's the sound engine or whatever. It's not the sound engine. It's the tools within the DAW, right? If we all use DAWs like this, if we just took our samples and pasted them onto the arrange window, your shit would always sound the same. But, you know, different DAWs have different pan laws. Different stock EQs do different things. Different stock compressors do different things. So if you know, and not only that, there's different workflows. Every DAW sampler acts a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like Ableton sampler has like 3 different modes on it. So if you use a DAW, like, and you're just starting out, or not even if you're just starting out, if you just didn't care to learn all of the crazy nuances that could go into this shit, and you move from one DAW to another, and you try to make the same beat, things are going to sound different. It's going to happen, and you won't be wrong for saying that a DAW has a different sound. You just won't be able to explain why. And that's okay. Like, it's okay just to work off your ears. You know what I'm saying? People who do that are called real musicians when it comes to playing instruments, right? So it's not a big deal. Don't let anybody tell you that you're crazy. You hear what you hear. Nice. Okay, let's get this. Let's get this out of hardware world. Let's get it into software world. Roshi, why do you think the hi-hats sound different in FL Studio? You gonna make me open up FL Studio and figure it out. We can't let decap down. Gotta be scientific. We gotta follow the null test. Yep, exactly. Exactly. You guess, you got it. You got it. Exactly. Exactly, sir. Justin says the red crayon tastes the best. The default settings are different when you start up each DAW. That's correct. That is correct.